ring. Now, the surprise people see on my face wasn't about the ring, because for all I care, it could have been a string. To be honest, to be honest with you.
Still on the viral proposal by Pastor Kingsley and Pastor Mildred Okonkwo that happened this week. I think that's the
highlight.
That's the highlight of the week for the whole world. So if you don't know about that story, just watch the video up here.
If you're in the Christian community and you love good marriages, you need to go and watch that proposal again.
Yeah, and if you're just joining this channel for the first time, or you just joined recently, welcome on board. On this channel we talk about marriages, relationships and family. So Pastor Kingsley proposed to his wife again after 20 years of marriage, and apart from the ons, the God wins, the beautiful side, what are we gleaning from it? What are we learning from it? You know, it's one thing to wish for a happy marriage. It's one thing to wish for this, you know, give. It's another thing to work at it. Yeah. And it's very, very beautiful when you hear from those who their marriages are working and they tell you what they are putting into it. So yeah, it was a delight to hear Pastor Mildred speak and tell us her reaction of, you know, that proposal, and to see how she really felt about it, you know. And if you've known Pastor Kingsley and Pastor Mildred, if you've heard any of their messages or you've known them, you know that this couple, they are real. They don't paint it. They don't mince words. They don't form it. They don't try to, you know, make it spiritual. They are one of the realest couples you ever come across. So trust me, if Pastor Mildred wasn't happy with it,
she's gonna say it.
I'm sure that was why Pastor Kingsley was really nervous, and they tell us the truth. And we're going to be hearing from Pastor Mildred how she reacted. Yes, her reaction about the proposal.
Okay, so let me give you guys my version of what happened. So late last year, PK has said that next year we're going to be 20. Will you marry me again? We're lying down. I think we're in bed. And I said, no. And he said, you know her again? I said, no, because I'm already married to you. And I laughed about it. I'm like, why would I marry you again? What's wrong with the first marriage that we're marrying? Have your vows expired? My own vows have not expired. My vows have not expired. I still insist. I did not say it's a lie. Why would I say it's a lie? Someone that is already married. So I'd said no and moved on, right? I said no to a wedding. People had asked me. I was like, no, I don't want to do another wedding. I don't have power. Honestly, I don't have power at all. So PK started using it to tease me. So if anything, if we do anything, if I do anything, for instance, if I say, if I do something, I say, that I beg, I can't do this, you know, say, yeah, that's why you don't want to marry me again. Or I'll say, I love you so much. You say, you love me like this, and you still don't want to marry me. I say, I'm not. See, marriage. Let me tell you the truth. I'm married to you, so I'm not doing all these things with you people. I'm not doing wedding. I'm not doing all those kind of things again. Once is enough for me in my lifetime. And I even remember when I was married, I said, I'm not doing this thing again. No, it's while it's too much, you know. So obviously, I didn't know it meant a lot to him. I didn't know that it was a big deal for him. I didn't know he really, really wanted us to do another wedding. And so when I think earlier in the year again, or I don't know, he asked me again, and I said no. Of course, I'm not. I do make mistakes first time I said it. I'm not doing wedding again. And so I said no. When he asked me, say, will you marry me again? I said, no, I will not marry you again. Leave me, I beg. So that morning, I'd been a bit overwhelmed. And the last couple of days, he had been playing this song for me. You know, maybe when I come to bed, he'll play for me and say, I say, what's doing this? Or why are you so mushy these days and all that? As we're getting older, I think things are flipped. You know, because the first time we got married, he didn't get down one knee. He said he does not kneel down to anybody but Jesus. I mean, not in the word, not in those exact words, but like, why is he kneeling down? Don't you want it to? You too, you want to marry me? I don't want to marry me. Why this and me go kneel down to say marry me? I don't want to marry me. He also didn't give me an engagement ring, and I said, you're not going to give me an engagement ring. He said he's not engaging me, he's marrying me. And the truth is, we didn't even have the money to buy the wedding ring. So engagement ring was totally out of it.
And that time we didn't have money. That time we bought the ring like 2 days, wedding ring, like 2 days to the wedding. We didn't have money. We just found any ring. So
it was a few days to my wedding. On Thursday, my brother gave me 20K. And then I called PK and said, my brother gave me 20K and I really want wedding bands, you know, so let's go and get wedding bands. We don't have to buy the engagement ring. So when we got there, the wedding sets were so expensive. So we decided to buy just the wedding bands, no engagement ring, nothing. So when we got there, they sold it was for 15,500. So that meant that we had a little bit of money for something else. This was 20 years ago. So when he said we didn't have money for program, we didn't have money for a lot of things, right? So we just had our wedding bands, and the wedding bands meant a lot to me, and I wanted my wedding bands to be gold. So that was all we could afford, the 18 carats. We bought an 18 carats yellow gold ring, and it was like 15,500 naira at the time, and my brother just gave me 20K, and that was all the money we had, to be honest. So when we bought the rings, I specifically wanted it to be gold because PK, I knew that any other thing PK would take it off, and I wanted him to have it on his hand and never have to take it off. So that's all we could afford, to be honest. And my rings meant a lot to me. I never take my rings off, never. I've only taken my ring off 3 times. 2 of those times was a C-section. The third one was I had a surgery, and PK, I would always give him my ring. He would always hold on to my ring wherever I took it off. So I would hand it back to him and he would put it back on me. I think I've taken it off 4 times, yeah. So I would always give it back to him and then he would give it back to me. He would hand it over to me. So anytime I'm going into surgery or, for some reason, I think it was also one time I needed to do, there was a medical procedure of some sort. Anyway, long and short of the stories, I was very big on my ring, but I didn't get an engagement ring, and I would tease him from time to time about it, that you will no sabi propose, I the saga sound your spirits, things like that. So I honestly didn't think much of it. I didn't, and I've always been simple. So even the first time I got married, my wedding was very simple. I didn't have a bridal train. I didn't have bridesmaids. It was just me and DJ. Very simple, straight to the point. My wedding dress was a skirt and a top. It looks like a dress, but it was made as a skirt and a top because me and Jesse Shadi used to go the same direction. So everything was very simple. My veil was very long, but everything else I kept very simple. My makeup was very minimal. I wanted to look like myself. No red lipstick, nothing out of the obvious. I looked exactly like myself. I had braids on, tiny braids, very tiny braids. My wedding dress was very simple, very elegant, very simple, but very, very elegant. So I didn't do all those many drama. Nothing. So I got married, right? My husband was starting out. We didn't have so much. And we started out our lives. On our wedding day, I was so scared. I was so nervous. God. Because like I was telling them this morning about, I walked into this marriage very sure I was sent. I was very, very, very sure that I was sent by God. Got married the first time, very anxious, very not sure of what I was doing, not sure of anything. But I used to tease Pastor K about it. I was teasing him consistently about the fact that he didn't propose. We laugh about it, but I didn't think much of it, to be honest. So when he started doing all this, playing me romantic music the other day, doing all kinds of things, and he was insisting that I come for this conference, right? He was insisting that I come for the conference, and I wasn't telling him, let me even stay at home with the children. Let me know, I don't need to go. He was like, no, let's you must go. This is what I want. It was making, I didn't understand. So when we're going, Pastor almost ran a red light. He was driving, but obviously his mind was, he was doing something. He was so nervous. He was acting as if, I don't know, he was acting up. I didn't even know what he was doing. It was just, it was not himself. I was talking to him, he wasn't concentrating. If I was saying to him, you're not acting like yourself. Are you sure you're okay? He said, it's fine. I said, this conference, waiting day, this conference, where he panic, where he like, he wasn't himself. So when we got there, and I went to the front and I sat down. In fact, they made me sit in front. But because Reverend Christy was in front, I decided to sit with her. So I sat with her. And honestly, I didn't understand why PK was so nervous. I didn't understand what he was doing. I say he almost ran a red light. So I wasn't telling him, this one, please pay attention. We get children from Moto, make nothing to what's going on. He was just not himself. Even when he was talking and introducing he was not himself. He wasn't articulate. This is a preacher now, so he know what he couldn't even say anything. He wasn't himself. He honestly wasn't himself, and I couldn't understand what was going on. So anyhow, we went in for the conference. He was talking, but he wasn't. I don't honestly like now everything makes sense, but at the time it didn't make sense to me. So when he started talking about me, that, oh, my wife, because of my, I'm like, these are the things we say inside our bedroom. So if you notice from the video, I was saying him, what's this? Why are you making it about me? I was saying, what's wrong? Like, you could see the expressions on my face, like, what's going on? Why are we doing this? Why are we making, this is not even an LDM conference. This is Association of Family Life Coaches. So why is this about me? Why are we, say my wife is the one that makes everything. She's my cheat code. She's my this, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. Next thing, he starts playing the song. I'm like, this is the song we play in our bedroom, sir. Why are we doing this? Why are we putting it out there? I didn't say anything. I just sat, Then I noticed that Reverend Christy looked back and kept her. So I was wondering, is she okay? What's she looking behind? Only for me to turn and see Isaac Gerald. So that was the first surprise. That he flew Isaac Gerald in. And I absolutely like Isaac. I love Isaac's voice. I think that he's one of the best singers I have ever met. Really touching for me that he flew him down to sing the song. And I knew that Isaac would do justice to the song. So only for me to later find out that he wanted to even bring the Savvy Henry, right? The guy who wrote the song. But the guy, I think at the time, couldn't sort out travel documents and all of that. But Isaac, because Isaac too is very dear to me. So that made it extra special. So Isaac walks forward. And then at some point when he's singing, that says Pastor K, then Pastor K starts talking. I know that the first time I wasn't able to propose, but now I'm asking you. Next thing I saw was a ring. Now, the ring. I didn't even notice. To be honest, I saw the ring and I saw that it was beautiful, but I didn't think about it. For all I could, I didn't even think on. Do you know that's when we're going on? That he said to me, oh, you finally have your diamond ring. I say, oh, the ring is diamond. He said, are you joking? I don't understand. He said, are you joking? Of course it's diamonds. Only you're my double diamond queen. I can't buy you anything else. I said, eh? That's how I started looking at it. I was not looking at the ring throughout as I was going home. I was looking at the ring like it did not even occur to me initially. But you see, we're not in the house. So there's a way I compartmentalize. You guys must understand that I'm married to my pastor and my boss, right? So when we're in the house, it's BK now. I got job for anybody. But when we're outside, there's an honor and a regard that I place on him, especially in his office as my pastor. So when he was talking, and I was like, we're outside though, sir, though. The next thing, he goes down on his and says, will you marry me? You know that shout was, my pastor is kneeling down to me. So I was like, So that was, stand up, like, stand up, sir, stand up. It didn't even occur to me at that time. And I think even he saw the rev, and he saw when he knelt down and he said, will you marry me? And I raised him up. I said, I raised him up and I said, you will never need to kneel down to me in your life again. And I said, I didn't know. So I was whispering in his ear. I said, I didn't know. Of course I will marry you again. Like, I'm already married to you. So I don't know that you needed to even do all of these things, you know. So it was a big deal for me. I felt like, my pastor is doing that to me. Sir, please stand up. Well, it felt very, the first time he was Kingsley to me. Now, this is Pastor K. This is my pastor. So, sir, stand up. So I had to lift him up, and I held him and I said, of course, I will marry you again. Like, you don't even need to ask me. And you don't even have to ask me publicly. But the real thing I was saying was, I'm already your wife. There's nothing wrong with the first vows we took. And I don't like attention. I don't like drama. So I just felt like, why are we doing this again? But I didn't know it meant that much to him. And the fact that when I looked at the video, because it was after he had asked me everything happened, that he now put up he now showed me the video where he was nervous and everything. I said, that's why you almost had an accident. That's why you were not talking well. What? But my husband knows that I'm also a very real person. So just because we're outside does not mean that I would say yes. So I think that was part of what he was worried about, that I could still say no there. And if you notice, initially I didn't say anything. In fact, he had to ask me, he said, I didn't hear you say yes. Then when Christina said, Shazia say yes now, Abi, what do you say? And I said yes. What will I say before? I said yes. But I think the biggest part of this whole thing for me, and I said it to him, is after 20 years, I'm already your wife, right? So why are you going through all of this? I don't know why you're going through all of this just to get me again. Like, I'm already yours, He's making it seem as if I said no, it's not still the house I'm coming to. But the point is, he was trying to make me understand that you're worth it to me to do it again. And the first time I did it, I didn't. And that for me was such a beautiful validation, because he kept saying, the first time I did this with you, I did not know what I was getting. I'm going in knowing what I have gotten, and knowing that there's so much more. There's nobody that loves me like this. Nobody that is committed to me like this. Nobody that's it was again, but it was very touching for me, especially because these 20 years we have been through it all. We've been through it all. I'm overwhelmed by all the love, all the attention. And to be honest, the first time we got married, not everyone was invited. We couldn't invite the whole church because we couldn't afford it. But I honestly don't want a big wedding again either. That's me. I mean, PK may not agree to it, but
So Special, what do you think? What's one thing you just, I want to hear from you. from this whole from this whole episode? What's that one lesson you're taking away from it?
Yeah, from what she said, really, it just reminded me of don't despise days of little beginning, really. So she just went in naturally, really, and she was done.
That's Pastor Mildred,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I'm just going to talk about Pastor Mildred. She deserved it, really, because by what he said that you don't need to bring much to the table really means that she's been a pillar, really, truly. And it's not about having having a lavish, high classy wedding. If you have the money,
so precisely what they did, they start with what you have.
Yeah, you have, really.
Start with what you have. You see people that want to get married, you start asking what's the best budget for the wedding. Start with what you have. Are you preparing more for the wedding than the marriage?
Yeah, you just need to define which one is more important. Is it the wedding or the marriage? So for us, really, it's just prioritize the marriage, because the wedding is one day event, and even the next Saturday another people are getting married, so you're already ready.
After your wedding there is another wedding. The guests that came for that your wedding, they are going to the next wedding, and by the time they go to the next wedding, they've forgotten the experience they gathered from your own wedding. So it's just about two of you. What really is convenient for us. You can't impress anybody. Yeah. And then look at this beautiful couple. They started from the rock bottom, and right now they can afford anything. You just don't have to be till 20 years, but you can do it. See, this is how I see it. Special. I see that I'm married to you for forever. Forever is such a long time. We can't finish this love today. What I gathered, you say your lesson is start with what you have. Mine is, I wrote it down. Stay deeply in love. I remember when Pastor Mildred said, that song that they sang during the proposal. Pastor Kingsley sings it in their it's their song. Do you have a song? You don't need to have a song. What works for you? Yeah. What works for you? There should be something that you still have going, no matter how long you've been married. I remember we had a song then, but that song wasn't working because this guy. Why you really got married? This is by the way. Why you really got married? I remember in the night I was singing Westlife songs to you. This guy would just sleep off. He would sleep off. Then I knew that he's not the singing type. But look for what works for you. look for what works for you. There should be still one romantic thing, because that's the marriage. If not, you just get to a point that
boring.
It's just boring. You come home, it's just like you're having a roommate. You come home, do school runs, or if your children, they'll go, and then it's just boring. Because life is not going to stand by, because you're 20, you're 30, you're 40 today. You get older, so you just keep that romantic flames, keep the spark alive. Look for that thing that connects you guys. If it's going out, if it's singing together, if it's dancing. I think ours is dancing. Singing doesn't work for us, but that dance, he's a dancer. One fun fact is that
I love to dance. I'm not a dancer.
Okay, you're a dancer. Okay, but you love to dance.
And it runs in the family.
Fun fact, some people think today that I'm the one dragging my husband. My husband dances. When I got married, I don't dance publicly. But I don't know, somehow, marriage just drags you. No, because right now, my sister-in-laws, all of them are saying that, I brought their brother out, he's now dancing. Well, he's the one that taught me. I used to be a very, very naturally quiet person. But, marriage just rubs off on you, right? You end up being someone that you can't recognize, but it's a beautiful thing. So just find out which works for you, and keep to it, and keep doing it, and keep working on it, and yours is going to be even more than the Okonkwo story tomorrow. What are we saying? Keep working on that marriage of yours. Yes, if you don't watch the proposal by the couple we are talking about, Pastor Kingsley and Pastor Mildred, I'll put it on the description below. And if you are a new subscriber on this channel, we've had more subscribers this week. Thank you for joining us on this channel. I hope to see you more and more again. This channel is about working on your marriage intentionally, promoting healthy relationships and family life, and just stick around. I'm sure you'll watch more videos, and it will come your way again. Watch this next video and stay inspired. Keep working on that marriage of yours.